The following is a broadcast of WCMP Sports. It's Section 7 AA playoff action here on KBEK Nice 95.5. Today we'll see the Rush City Tigers hosting the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers. First pitch is on the way, but now we'll send it out to the field with Ethan Game Day Gilman for the call of this game. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to today's broadcast of playoff softball here on Nice 95.5 FM KBEK. I am Ethan Game Day Gilman, and we are out here at Rush City High School here getting set to call this Section 7 AA softball playoff game between the Tigers and the Hilltoppers of Duluth Marshall. We're just about to get set. We're going to get our starting lineups here real quick, and why don't we take a commercial break while we get those starting lineups, and you're listening to Playoff Softball on KBEK.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Did you know that Franzen Bank & Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
An air source heat pump is not only a high-efficiency air conditioning unit, it can heat your home or business efficiently during the spring and fall. Plus, it's more economical than heating with natural gas. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your air source heat pump. Dale's offers a personalized focus, free consultations, and free estimates. Ask the pros at Dale's how you can receive up to $1,250 in rebates for your air source heat pump system installed in 2023 with 0% financing. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Name dropping. Who does that anymore? John Deere, Toro, Gravely, Aaron's, all the top names are available and on site at Minnesota Equipment. Whether it's time to upgrade your zero-turn, walk-behind mower, or small utility tractor, the experienced team at Minnesota Equipment can put you in the machine that fits your needs. And the sale is just the start of the relationship at Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com. Briggs & Stratton, Kohler, Kawasaki, 42, 48, or 52-inch deck. I don't know. When you have serious questions about the right lawn machine, go talk to the experts at Minnesota Equipment and Isanti. John Deere, Gravely, Toro, and Aaron's. And with Minnesota Equipment's experienced team, they can match you with the machine perfect for your needs at a price that fits your budget. The sale is just the start of the relationship at Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or at minnesotaequipment.com.
When you need an AC or furnace tune-up, Dale's Heating and Appliance is always clutch. Need financing on a new AC or furnace system? Dale's Heating and Appliance in Pine City is your closer. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
3.
Avoid costly repairs on your AC or heating system by getting a tune-up from Dale's Heating and Appliance. Dale's is your hometown cooling and heating expert, servicing Pine City and surrounding areas. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com today. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
The following is a broadcast of WCMP Sports. It's Section 7 AA playoff action here on KBEK Nice 95.5. Today we'll see the Rush City Tigers hosting the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers. First pitch is on the way, but now we'll send it out to the field with Ethan Game Day Gilman for the call of this game.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Back here on 95.5 FM, KBEK. We're just about set here to get going in this one. And taking a look at our starting lineup, starting with the visiting Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers. It'll be leading off for them will be their pitcher, L. Kovich, wearing number 48. Then in the second spot, out at right field, number 6, Esme Johnsrud. Then in the third spot, playing over at second base, Isabella Villa. Then it's shortstop, Presley Johnsrud in the cleanup spot. Mercy Scher out at center field. Willa Perry Spears playing at catcher. Zippy Vossen playing over there at third. And then Izzy Asbury playing at left field. Leading off El Kovich, and on the mound, swing and a miss on that one. From the starting pitcher, number 19, Grace Folkma. Gets her to swing on the first one, swings on this one for strike 2. So an early 0-2 count here as we have the leadoff batter for Duluth Marshall. Kovich swings and misses at all 3. So she goes down swinging for out number 1 here in the first inning. Folkema already with a strikeout in this one. Again, this Section 7 AA playoff matchup here in Rush City. Sitting at about like 83 degrees. It's getting warm. Swing and a miss there from the batter in the number 2 spot, Esme Johnsrud. Steps out, then steps back into the batter's box, and here's the pitch from Folkema. This one is popped up and out of play. So she'll get to do it again as she'll jog back to the batter's box. Down 0-2. Drew back into the batter's box. Folkema sets up again. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Grace Folkema. In there for strike 3. Esme Johnsrud. And now coming to the plate, the second base player, Isabella Villa, wearing number 3 for the Hilltoppers. Folkema looking to set him down 1-2-3. Swing and an early miss on that one. She got her swinging early on that one. Down 0-1. Hilltoppers wearing their gray jerseys with the black sleeves. Letters in white, numbers in black, outlined in yellow. Black pants. Swing and a miss on that one from Folkema. So down 0-2 is Isabella Villa. And Folkema trying to put him down in 9 pitches. She will. 1, 2, 3 go the Hilltoppers on 9 pitches from Grace Folkema. She'll start it out with 3 straight strikeouts as we head to the bottom of the first inning. So quick work here of the top of the first inning for the Rush City Tigers, and they make quick work of that there. Grace Folkema again, 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches to begin this game. Can't ask for much of a better start if you're the Rush City Tigers right now. That's about as good as it can get for you to start out a playoff game. So now we'll move to the bottom of the first inning. In this Section 7 AA playoff matchup. Over on 100 point, well, not 100.9, actually 106.5 FM and AM 1350. We've got Joe Lattimore calling the Hinckley-Finlayson versus Hill City Northland playoff game. That's a Section 5 Single A East. It's a subsection. I believe it gets to, or they're playing both sections together in the semifinal, so gotta wait a little bit long, but that should be a good one. Again, that one's over on 106.5 FM. Here in this one, we're got the intro for Mackenzie Ribich, the leadoff batter here for the Tigers. First pitch is going to be high for ball one. Starting pitcher today again for the Hilltoppers is Elkovic. Summer Nelson is on deck, and that pitch goes behind Ribich. She'll watch that one. So 2-0 count for the leadoff batter, Mackenzie Ribich, playing at second today. Here's the pitch. That one's going to bounce to her, and it's going to be a 3-0 count. So 4 pitches and a walk there for Mackenzie Ribich, and she'll be on first. So Summer Nelson moves up to the plate now. Here's the windup in the pitch. Looking for a bunt, but she'll lay off there as that one's high for ball one. Nobody out and a runner on first for the Tigers. Bunt is on, but that bunt is foul from Summer Nelson. Count moves to 1-1. So Nelson again sets up 1-1. Here's the pitch. And swung on and hit foul. Good spot for that ball from Summer Nelson. She read that one all the way. Just a tad early on it. So Kovic ahead now 1-2. As they run after that one and get it back into play. So Kovic will set back up, the 1-2 count on the way. And a late swing and miss there from Summer Nelson. And she'll be the first out. She'll go down swinging. So Mackenzie Ribich will walk back to first base. And now Kaylin Glenna to the plate, playing over at first. One down, runner on first. Here's the pitch from Kovic. Waiting on that one, and Ribich easily into second on the steal. Runner in scoring position now for Glenna. And already in great scoring opportunity. One's going to be low and outside, and Ribich will advance to third easily after the pass ball. So 2-0 count now for Kaylin Glenna. One out. And again, that runner on third. Thought about it, laid off, did Glenna. It'll be a 3-0 count now. Kovic with the 3-0 count. Pitch on the way. Glenna watches that one, and usually 3-0 you'll get a stoplight, but sometimes they will let you swing. But early in the game like this, might as well wait. And she will watch that one go high for ball 4, and she'll walk down to first. So runners on first and second now for the Tigers. And Folkema to the plate. The catcher today for these Tigers. Hansen on deck. Behind her, Annabelle Hansen. Kovic with the pitch. And Volkma gets this one. It's popped up. Tough spot, but the shortstop is over to grab it for out number 2. Annabelle Hansen now comes to the plate. 2 down, runners on the corners. Nice catch there by the shortstop Presley Johnsrud. That's one where, that can get up in the air and maybe move around a little bit. Not a whole lot of wind today. And an easy steal there for Kaylin Galena. But again, that kind of hit is dangerous because it can get up in the air and move around a little bit. But thankfully, there's not a lot of big gusts of wind. There's a light breeze, but not enough to really affect the ball. But that's in the spot where you usually see an error happen just because of the position and the sun. But nice job there by Presley Johnsrud to get on top of that one. And this one is swung on and hit right towards the second baseman, and she'll get it for out number 3. So Hansen, she'll line out to the second baseman for out number 3. So 5 batters go through, but none can reach after getting runners on the corners. And the Tigers will get back out on defense after not being able to get any runs across there. It's a good start for them to begin the bottom of the first. Got that runner Ribbich on, and Nelson struck out, and Glenna reached on balls, and then 2 straight lineouts. Well, it was a pop-up there for Volkma, and Hansen lined out to second. So now we'll move on to the top of inning number 2 here in Rush City. 0-0 our score, again in the top of the second inning. Beautiful day to be outside, but it might be a little bit warm in terms of just playing sports because it's mid-80s right now here in Rush City, Minnesota. And again, when you've got all that equipment on, it can get warm really quick. Personally, if I'm playing myself, I prefer middle 60s, 70s. That's usually nice, or maybe mid 70s with a great wind, but not so much here today. Leading off the top of the second inning is going to be number 8, Presley Johnsrud, the shortstop. Grace Volkma with the windup and the pitch. Just outside for ball 1. That's going to be the first pitch that has not been a strike for Grace Volkma or swung on here in this game. It was 9 strikes and 9 swings by the Hilltoppers in the last inning. That led to 3 outs, but now she fires one in there, and Johnsrud swings on that one and misses, so 1-1 the count now. Here's the pitch from Grace Volkma. Swung on and missed again, so she'll get ahead in the count now, 1-2. Come back with a vengeance on these last 2 pitches. She was not pleased that she got a ball on the first one. She's really throwing some steam on these last 2. Here's the 1-2. It'll be low and inside for ball 2. So 2-2 now the count at the top of the second inning. Volkma with the pitch. Just outside. That'll run the count full. That one, I think everyone here thought it might be a strike. Everyone kind of held their breath for a moment, but Johnsrud will run the count full. Swing and miss on that one. And Volkma will get her 4th strikeout in as many batters. Now to the plate, Mercy Scherer. At the plate, she's playing out in center field. Swinging and missing on that first one. Heat being brought by Grace Volkma on that first one. So 0-1 the count now for Scherer. But Scherer, watching that first swing, she's got a quick swing. So if she's able to make contact with one of those, she might send it deep. Watches that one go by for strike 2, and a lot of times you might watch a strike just go by just because it's not the one you want to swing on, but has to swing there, missing, and she'll go down on strikes as well. 5 batters faced and 5 strikeouts now for Grace Volkma. Now stepping to the plate, Willa Perry Spears. Volkma with the windup and the pitch. In there for strike 1 to Willa Perry Spears. Top of the second, nobody on. 2 out for the Hilltoppers, and on deck for them is Zippy Vossen. Perry Spears in the box. Here's the windup and the pitch from Folkma. Swung on and missed again. 0-2 the count for Perry Spears. Folkma trying to send him down 1-2-3. Oh, she's going to hit Perry Spears in the ankle. That one got away from Folkma there, and it will not be 2 perfect innings. So Zippy Vossen to the plate now, playing over at third. Runner on, 2 outs. Pitch is inside, gets all the way to the backstop, and an easy base there for Perry Spears as she's on second. So 2 out and a runner on in scoring position now for the Hilltoppers. Zippy Vossen at the plate, and here's the windup and the pitch from Folkma. That one's in there for strike 1. Moves the count 1-1. One pitch is on the way from Folkma. Swung on and missed. She may have just gotten a piece of it. So 1-2 count now for Zippy Vossen. 2 outs and a runner on second. Pitch from Folkma. Swung on and missed. So the runner who reached after being hit by a ball will not prove to be any bit of a threat for the Tigers, as Folkma, that's Grace Folkma, able to retire 6 batters on strikeouts in the 2 innings. Again, she did hit 1 batter. The 6th batter she would have faced, she did hit, but then came back and struck the next batter out. So we'll move on to the bottom of the 2nd inning. And again, don't forget, over on 106.5, another softball matchup, playoff softball matchup between the Hinckley Finlayson Jaguars and the Hill City Northland Hornets. Here in our game, it's Rush City and Duluth Marshall in this Section 7 AA playoff matchup. It's the first round of the playoffs. Here in Rush City, the winner will move on to Thursday, where they'll play up in Grand Rapids. That game will begin at 3:30, and they'll play against either the winner of Aiken and Pine City. Then if you win that first game up in Grand Rapids, you'll move on to the quarterfinal game, which will be played at 5:30. And the semifinal game will be played in Cloquet at Braun Park. That is what Section 7 AA looks like. No scores. We get to the bottom of inning number 2. And Grace Folkma, the pitcher, leading off for the Tigers. First pitch is outside for ball 1. This one is swung on and hit right between the third and shortstop. And it's going to be a base hit there for Grace Folkma. Caitlin Hemming. Hemming to the plate. Looks like we're going to get a, maybe. Going to get a courtesy runner here for Grace Folkma. They want to protect that pitcher. Coming in to run for her is Maria Biermeyer. So nobody out, runner on first, and a courtesy runner for the pitcher, Grace Folkma. Biermeyer. She's a junior over there on first. And waiting to try and advance the runners, Caitlin Hemming. Number 11, a sophomore. Tigers, by the way, wearing their white jerseys, the blue sleeves. Letters and numbers are blue, outlined in yellow. They got blue pants, too, with a yellow and white stripe. Yellow piping down the side. And Hemming waits on that one, and advancing easily into second base is the courtesy runner, Maria Biermeyer. So now already runner in scoring position, and that's kind of how the first inning went. Ribbich reached on balls and was able to get to third, but no one was able to bring her home. And Hemming gets a piece of that one, follows it back, and kind of moves 1-1. Back in the batter's box, and here's the pitch from Kovic. That one's inside for ball 2. Good eye there from Hemming. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Holding off on that one is Hemming. And the count will move to 3-1. In a playoff game, especially, I'm sure it's hard to wait on these pitches, whether they're inside, high, or low. I'm sure you want to be swinging on these and getting those ribbies, but you also got to be smart and not swing on anything egregious, as Veronica Hemming now at the plate. 2 on and nobody out. And 2 straight pitches to Veronica Hemming are called balls. And here's the 2-0 pitch from Kovic. High and outside for ball 3. So now a 3-0 count for Veronica Hemming. And the pitch. Strike call, but the runners are going to advance. So now Maria Biermeyer on third, Caitlin Hemming on second, and Veronica Hemming in a great position here. We get the first runs across the board. 3-1 is on the way, and she'll lay off that one for ball 4. So Veronica Hemming now moves down to first. Bases are loaded for number 18, Natalie Rude, only an 8th grader. And again, here's a prime example of kind of waiting for those pitches, because if you swing at something low and outside or call ball, then you waste an opportunity to possibly walk home a run. And good comeback pitch there from Kovic. Brings this count to 1-1. Ball's going to be high for ball 2. 2-1 count now for Natalie Rude. Base hit will score at least 1. And Rude got a piece of that one, but it will go foul, and the count moves even at 2-2. For Natalie Rude, who has the bases loaded and nobody out. 2-2. Rude is going to pop this one up. And so the batter is going to be out, but the runner at first is going to stay. That's more or less of an infield fly rule. But the first run of the game does come across for the Tigers. And they lead 1-0. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Pitch is going to be low, and the runner from first moves down. Going to be Veronica Hemming. So Maria Biermeyer made it home. Caitlin Hemming over to third. That one's going to be well over the catcher, and everybody's going to stay where they're at. That one is just outside for ball. 3-0 the count. That one is high and outside for ball 4. So bases loaded once again as Ribic walks. So Ribic on first. Bases are loaded for Summer Nelson. Ball is low for ball 1. This pitch is high for ball 2. Again, bases loaded here for Summer Nelson. That one is swung on and missed. One down, bases loaded. That ball over the head of the catcher, but she does a nice job of bringing that one down, saving any runs. It's a 3-1 count now for Summer Nelson. Great opportunity here for the Tigers to walk home a run. They will. So as she walks home, Hemming steps home as well. Kaylin Glenna to the plate as the Tigers now lead 2-0. Catcher and pitcher will have a quick conversation. And while we have that conversation, don't forget over on WCMP's website and KBK's website, we have a golf card. And we have a golf card on our website. It's nearly a $200 value you can get for only $100 right now, and it's valid for 18 holes of golf at participating locations. I believe it's Malacca, Mora, Pine City. I believe Foley might be in there. And getting hit by the pitch there is Kaylin Glenna, so she'll walk to first. That'll bring another run home. And a bunt laid down by Bella Folkema. Runner's going to be out at home, but it will advance all runners. And that one going to be a fielder's choice. And Annabelle Hansen now to the plate. So bases are still loaded after the fielder's choice, throw to home for the second out. So no score came, or did it? That's get a courtesy runner for the catcher, and it will be Shea McDonald. 3-0 the Tigers lead here in the bottom of the second inning. It looked good from the first inning, but they were unable to bring the runner from third home. That was Mackenzie Rivich, and now they have walked home a couple of runs. Bases are still loaded. Bottom of the second with 2 outs now. Now Annabelle Hansen will have her turn at the plate. Two down, bases loaded, 3-0 Tiger lead. Here's the pitch. Oh, she wanted that one. Hansen wanted it, but she laid off. And it will go by for strike one. She gets a hit on this one, but it's going to be hit foul out of play. Oh, 2 count now for Hansen. Bases loaded. She swings at one pretty low, but she gets a piece of it, fouls it off down the third baseline, and she'll get set to do it again. Here's the pitch from Kovic, and that one's going to be outside for ball one. Especially 0-2, it's extremely hard to lay off on pitches, but Hansen did a good job on that one. Here's the pitch from Kovic. That one's going to be high, and nice catch there by the Hilltoppers catcher, Perry Spears. That one was over her head, but she brought it down, saves it, and the count moves even at 2-2 for Annabelle Hansen. Hansen gets a swing on this one. It's going to get by the infield, and Rush City is going to send a runner from second, and that will be a 2-run single for Annabelle Hansen. So 2 outs, runners on first and second, and it's a 5-0 lead here for the Tigers. That one's pitch is high for ball one to Grace Folkema. This will be the second time she's hit here in the inning. She watches this one. That one's a roller down to third, and the third baseman will just step on the bag for out number 3. So 5-0 as 5 runs come across the board here for the Rush City Tigers. They lead 5-0 going into the top of the third inning. And after what seemed to be a promising bottom of the first, the bottom of the second is where the runs come from for the Tigers, as we will get set to move on to inning number 3 with the Tigers leading again 5-0 in the Section 7 AA softball playoff game. Great day for some playoff action. Might be a little warm for some players. Some players might embrace the warmth, but I think after the winter we've had, everyone is just pleased that we're at least getting some warm weather, that it seems like summer is not far away. Of course, maybe I shouldn't say that, because then all of a sudden we'll get like 50 degrees for 3 weeks. But yes, it is nice to finally see that we are getting some warm weather. Finally. And again, they did all these teams had to do some acrobatics to try and even get a season going after we had snow into late April. Izzy Asbury steps up to the plate, playing out at left field. The lefty watches the first pitch go by for ball 1. Pitch is high and over the head of the catcher for ball 2 to Izzy Asbury. Grace Folkema with the 2-0 pitch. That one's in there for strike 1. And one thing about Grace Folkema she's been able to do today is if she has, a couple bad pitches or pitches that wind up outside, she's able to come back with a fiery one just like these two, as she brings the count even at 2-2. Tigers lead 5-0 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, 3 locations, Pine City, Lynchburg, and Cambridge. Folkema fires that one in there past Asbury for strike 3 for out number 1. Ellen Gunt at the plate now for the Hilltoppers. 1 down. And first pitch is swung on and missed. Ellen Gunt at the plate. Has an 0-1 count and watches this one outside for ball 1. Good take there. That one was enticing, but that's a nice take there from Gunt. And here's the next pitch, which is swung on and missed, and it's now a 1-2 count. Grace Folkema has been making really quick work of these innings so far. She's doing a good job of kind of getting things moving, and that one is swung on and missed from Gunt, and it will be out number 2. Out of the 9 batters Folkema has faced, she has struck out 8 of them. 8 strikeouts on the day. And now back to the top of the order with Elkovic, the pitcher. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the windup and the pitch from Folkema. Swung on, and that's going to get through the infield for a base hit from Elkovic. So, after setting down nearly the entire batting order, only one reached because of a hit by pitch, Kovic is going to reach base. 2 down and a runner on first. And Esme Johnsrud now at the plate. You can bet Folkema is going to be trying to strike Johnsrud out, but this one is a bunt attempt and missed for strike 1. Everybody moves back to where they are. And here's the 0-1 pitch from Folkema. Swung on and missed. And the catcher wasting no time getting it back. Bella Folkema. It's right back to Grace Folkema in a hurry. Don't want that runner at first, even threatening. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And that will be out number 3. So after allowing one hit, Grace Folkema comes back and strikes out the next batter. and does not allow that runner on first to become a threat. So we'll move down to the bottom of the third inning here in Rush City with the Tigers leading 5-0 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics. Dr. Sievers is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. You can start today at EmbraceMN.com. They're also helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. You can go to their website, find out more at EmbraceMN.com. Don't forget, we will have more playoff action coming up, hopefully this week for you. Tigers are in a good position here today, up 5-0, going into the bottom of the third inning. And over on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, the Jaguars of Hinckley-Finlayson hosting the Hill City Northland Hornets in that Section 5A East playoff game. I will look to get an update from that game for you as soon as I possibly can. And getting set to lead off the third, going to be Caitlin Hemming. That ball is going to be high and over the catcher's head for ball one. That one's going to bounce to the catcher, and ball two. 2-0 count now for Caitlin Hemming. She reached on balls in her last plate appearance, and she gets a piece of that one, but just a little bit ahead of that one. She fouls it off down the third baseline. Everyone got out of the way, so they're okay. So it's going to be a 2-1, 3-1 count, and that one's going to be well high, and it's going to make it a 3-1 count for Caitlin Hemming. Swing and a miss on that one. Will run the count full. Hemming, looking back at that foul that she hit, she wants to get a hit on this one. Here's the 3-2. And she swings and misses, but the catcher drops it. The throw down to first is not going to be in time. So Caitlin Hemming, though she swung on it and missed, she's going to reach first. So now Veronica Hemming to the plate, and she reached on balls in her first plate appearance back just last inning. But again, Caitlin Hemming swung and missed on the third strike, but it was dropped, so she reaches first. And now the catcher can't hold on to that one cleanly, and Caitlin Hemming moves down to second. We're in scoring position here for Veronica Hemming. And Hemming just a little bit out in front of that one. And Caitlin Hemming will move to third. Aggressive base running there from Caitlin Hemming, just being aware. And Veronica Hemming with a 1-1 count now. A little bit out in front of that last one, and she's looking to lay down the bunt. She pulls it back. It's good that she did because it was low. And rolled to the catcher for ball two. 2-1 count now for Veronica Hemming. She'll show bunt again. She'll pull it back, as that one's inside for ball number 3. 3-1 count to Veronica Hemming. She showed bunt the last couple attempts, and she'll pull this one back. That one's outside for ball 4. So 2 walks for Veronica Hemming, and now it's Natalie Rude coming to the plate. She flew out to the first baseman. But it was a infield fly rule, so runner at first was safe. A slow dive into second is safe for Veronica Hemming, and Caitlin Hemming decides that she's going to come home after the throw down to second to make it 6-0 in favor of the Tigers. So nobody out, runner on second. That one is low to Rude for ball 2. That one inside. Ball 2. 3-0, excuse me. So a 3-0 count for Rude. She'll swing on this one down the third base line. And third baseman just a little bit off on the mark. And it will go foul. 3-1 count now for Natalie Rude. Playing out in right field for the Tigers today. Kovich with the 3-1. And Rude will pop it up to the catcher and cannot hold on to it. And it will be called foul. So that will move the count to full at 3-2. Natalie Rude will get to do it again. If she can straighten out her swing, that's probably a base hit up the middle. So full count for Rude. Kovich wastes no time on that one. And Rude will foul this one off down the third base line. She's got a nice swing on it, but just got to straighten it out. If she does, that should be a base hit. It's got some zip on it enough to where you'd think it would definitely leave the infield. So full count. Pitch from Kovich on the way. Outside. And ball 4. So Mackenzie Ribbich back to the plate. The senior playing second base today. Here's the pitch. Just outside for ball 1. Nobody down. Runners on first and second here for the Tigers. Here's the 1-0. It's going to be high for ball 2. Runners at first and second. Get a pretty decent-sized lead, but they'll walk back. Ribbich steps back into the box. Here's the pitch from Kovich. Enticing, but Ribbich lays off. And that'll be ball 3. 3-0 count now to Mackenzie Ribbich. And again, nobody out. That one's going to be high. And Ribbich will walk to first for her third time. Now it's Summer Nelson coming to the plate. Struck out in her first at-bat, and then just last inning, she reached on a walk. So once again, the bases are loaded for the Tigers, and see if they can capitalize. Here's the pitch. That one's in there for strike 1 from Kovich. So Nelson lays off that one. Kovich with the pitch. It's low, but swinging on it and getting it down, and no throw to first, and everyone is going to be safe. So it's an infield single for Summer Nelson. That's probably one of the tougher plays to make. That had some nasty backspin on it, and it gets down for infield single. 7-0 now for the Tigers, as now it's Kaylin Glenna to the plate. She watches the first pitch go by for ball. Here's the 1-0. A little bit in front of that one for strike 1. So a quick 1-1 count here to Glenna. She walked and was hit by a pitch in her 2 at-bats. She gets a piece of that one out to center field. It's down for a base hit, and the runner from first is safe at second. It was a close play at second, but she is safe, and that will drive home a run. So back-to-back RBIs. And now Bella Fulcom to the plate. It is 8-0, and she gets a piece of that one, but fouls it off down the third base line. It is 8-0 here for the Tigers in the bottom of the third inning. Bases still loaded and nobody out. Bella Fulcom watches that one go by for ball 1. One count now for Fulcom. That one's low, but she gets a piece of it out to left field. It's over the left fielder's head, and that's going to roll a while. That'll bring 1 run home. That'll bring another run home, and it's going to be a 2-run double for Bella Fulcom. Two-run double for the Tigers from Bella Folkma. Makes it 10-0. And still nobody out. Shea McDonald will be the courtesy runner out at second. As Annabelle Hansen steps to the plate, she'll watch this one bounce to the catcher for ball one. She lined out in her first at-bat, and then in the last inning, she had a two-run single. And looks like Perry Spears wants to have a word with her pitcher, Kovic. And while they have a quick word, we'll take a word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to Softball here on KBEK.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
1-0 pitch is high for ball two. 2-0 count now for Annabelle Hansen. Runners on in scoring position and nobody out. This one's high for ball three. 3-0 count now for Annabelle Hansen. Her team leads 10-0 here. Bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. Just outside for ball four. So Hansen will walk to first. Now Grace Folkema at the plate. Bases loaded, nobody out. Grace Folkema grounded out in her 2 at-bats here in the second. She grounded out in the second of it, and she get a base hit in the first at-bat there in the second inning. Two pitches that are called balls for Grace Folkema. Makes it a 2-0 count. She steps back into the box. Kovic with the pitch. Enticing, but again, nice job laying off there by Folkema. 3-0 count now for Folkema. Tigers lead 10-0. Bases loaded and nobody out. Kovic gets this one, and that one's going to be popped up in the foul territory. And caught there by the shortstop for out number one. Presley Johnsrud makes the catch for out number one. Caitlin Hemming back to the plate. This will be her second at-bat of the inning. One down and still bases loaded. Caitlin Hemming. That one's going to be high for ball one. Hemming swung and missed on her strike three, but the ball was dropped and she reached first on a nice hustle play. Here's the 1-0 and swinging and missing on something really low and in the dirt for strike one, excuse me. So she runs the count now, 1-1. One pitch on the way and swinging and missing on that one. And the ball gets away from the catcher, so it will bring home a run. And everyone will advance, and that leaves first base open. And makes it 11-0. Caitlin Hemming down 1-2. Gets a swing on that one to deep left field. And it is just foul. Man, that one was close. Had it not been foul, it would have been just short of a home run. But it would have probably emptied the bases. So she'll do it again with a 1-2 count. Runners on second and third, and one down for Caitlin Hemming. Gets a piece of this one again and fouls it off down the third base line. She's got a powerful swing. Can she just straighten it out? 1-2 pitch again. That one's going to be inside for ball two. Caitlin Hemming been aggressive here. Again, she swung and missed on a third strike, but reached anyways. She gets a piece of this one. It's going to be fouled back. Catcher almost. That's so tough to read, especially when you got to turn around and then find it. So it drops. Count will remain 2-2 for Caitlin Hemming. 2-2 pitch on the way from Kovic. Hemming fouls this one back and out of play. Gets a swing on this one, but pops it up towards the third base line. Shortstop is on it again for out number 2. And now Veronica Hemming steps to the plate for her second at-bat in the inning. 2 down, runners on in scoring position still. It's going to be low and rolled to the catcher for ball 1. Veronica Hemming in her first at-bat. Reached on a walk. Here's the pitch from Kovic, swinging and missing. Just a little out in front of that one for Hemming, Veronica Hemming. One count for Hemming. Here's the pitch from Kovic, low in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher. Moves count to 2-1 now. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Just outside for ball 3 to Veronica Hemming. 2 down. Here's Kovic with the pitch. One's high for ball 4. So Hemming will walk once again down to first. And the bases stay loaded. And now to the plate. It's going to be Emily Engstman. So Emily Engstman will come in for Natalie Rude, and we'll have a conference on, in the circle rather, not on. So a conference in the circle for Duluth Marshall, the Hilltoppers. They trail 11-0 here in the bottom of the third with bases loaded and 2 down. So that quick conference over, and Engstman. Emily Engstman. Again, she'll come in for Natalie Rude. Will she play out in rights? Will be yet to be determined. We'll see if they don't switch up things a little bit here going into the fourth. But Emily Engstman now coming in, the senior. Watching that one go high for ball 1. Good eye there from her. Bases loaded with 2 down. It'll be the second time around for the 9 spot batter. Just misses on that one and shakes her head. She knew she was just in front of that one. Tried to slow it down to make contact, but just missed. So that'll be a 1-1 count. And now that she's seen it, you can bet she's got a beat on it. She does that time. And the throw to first, not going to be in time. The runner from third going to score, and now... And 2 runners get to third at the same time, and that's going to be an automatic out. So can't have 2 runners on the same base. But Engstman did get a single, but then we're going to get an awkward third out as the runner from third came home and scored. The runner from second moved to third, and then the runner from first moved to third as well because she was expecting the runner from second to go home, but she did not. And that led to the out there at third with... can't have 2 runners at the same base, on the same base at the same time. So that is an automatic out, but the run will count. That did come home from third, and it will make it a 12-0 lead here for the Rush City Tigers as we move to the top of the 4th inning, with the Tigers leading 12-0 over the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers in this Section 7 AA softball playoff matchup. Moving to the 4th, and While we wait for the fourth inning to begin, we'll get a word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to softball playoff action here on Nice 95.5 KBEK.
An air source heat pump is not only a high-efficiency air conditioning unit, it can heat your home or business efficiently during the spring and fall. Plus, it's more economical than heating with natural gas. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your air source heat pump. Dale's offers a personalized focus, free consultations, and free estimates. Ask the pros at Dale's how you can receive up to $1,250 in rebates for your air source heat pump system installed in 2023 with 0% financing. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Name dropping. Who does that anymore? John Deere, Toro, Gravely, Aaron's, all the top names are available and on site at Minnesota Equipment. Whether it's time to upgrade your zero-turn, walk-behind mower, or small utility tractor, the experienced team at Minnesota Equipment can put you in the machine that fits your needs. And the sale is just the start of the relationship at Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com. Briggs & Stratton, Kohler.
Back here on KBEK, getting a couple of substitutions for the Rush City Tigers. We'll get to those in just a moment, but the leadoff batter here in the fourth inning going to be Isabella Villa for the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers. Swinging and missing on the first one, swinging and missing on this one, well in front of that one. Peyton Adikis, the new pitcher for the Tigers. And she's got a 0-2 count on Villa and gets that one fired by her for out number one. So Grace Volkman went 3 innings, got 9 strikeouts, and now stepping to the plate is Presley Johnsrud for the Hilltoppers. Peyton Adikis gets that one in there for strike one, and they did take the run off the board there for the Tigers. So that run will not count. It's going to be 11-0. The Tigers still lead, but they did take that one run off of the board. So it's 11-0 as Adikis wastes no time firing that one past Presley Johnsrud for strike 2. It's now an 0-2 count. So while we're busy talking, she's busy getting the job done, and she gets that one in there, but a little bit high for ball one. And top of the fourth inning, Tigers lead 11-0 over the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Swinging and missing on that one is Johnsrud for out number 2. Mercy Scher at the plate now. 2 down and nobody on. Addix winds up and gets this one. A slow roller back to the pitcher Addix. Throw on to first. No! It was in time, but the first baseman pulled her foot off the bag. So Scher is on first. Do have a couple of substitutions, but don't really have time to talk about them as we are moving on to Willa Perry Spears, who will look to try and get a run home here for the Hilltoppers as her team trails by 11 here. Top of the fourth. It is Mercy Scher who beat out for an infield hit, a single, and first baseman, who is Veronica Hemming, took her foot off the bag. The ball was there in time, but she couldn't keep her foot on the bag for the out. So 3 pitches, it's going to be 2 balls, and then this one is in there for strike 1 to Willa Perry Spears. 2-1 count now from Addix, and Addix, the 2-1 is in there for a strike to even the count at 2-2. So after 2 straight balls, she goes in and fires 2 of them in there for strikes, and here's the 2-2 delivery. Strike 3, and Willa Perry Spears, just the look on her face said it all. She was surprised that that one was a strike, but either way, that is going to retire the side there for the Hilltoppers, and the Tigers will get out of the fourth without allowing a run to cross after, again, Mercy Scher reached after Veronica Hemming could not keep her foot on first. She pulled it off. That allowed her to reach, but Willa Perry Spears watched 2 straight pitches get there for balls, and then 3 straight strikes. That third one got her looking. So 3 strikeouts in that 4th inning for Peyton Addix. And again, Grace Folkema went the first 3 innings and grabbed 9 strikeouts. Again, only, as we take a look, only allowed the 1 hit to Elkovic. But she and only walked 1. It was a hit by pitch on Willa Perry Spears. Other than that, it was pretty darn good, the start there for Folkema. Addix did a really good job there, and in her first appearance, striking out 3 and only allowing 1 runner. As we move again to the bottom of the 4th inning, Kovic still out there in the circle for the Hilltoppers, and we're ready for action once again. A couple of the substitutions is Maria Biermeyer comes in for Kaylin Glenna. Adriana Schroeder comes in for Annabelle Hansen. Chloe Fuller comes in for Caitlin Hemming. And again, Emily Anksman is in for Natalie Rude. But we're at the top of the order. It's Mackenzie Ribich to lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th. She watches that one go high for ball 1. One-0 count for Ribich. She watches this one. This one's going to be swung on right to the third baseman. The throw over to first. Not in time. As Ribich reaches that, the throw over to first kind of pulled the first baseman off, but Ribich with the hustle reaches first. Peyton Addix will be will be hitting for Summer Nelson. So Peyton Addix in for Summer Nelson, I believe. Perfect. Get the word from the umpire there to confirm it. She is in for Summer Nelson. Again, we got to appreciate these umps. They come out and do these games. Can't do it without them. So Peyton Addix at the plate. After striking out 3, she'll look to maybe get a ribby here. That throws in the dirt, and catcher can't grab it cleanly, and Ribich moves to second. Perry Spears had some good stops back there at the catcher spot, and wanting that one was Addix, but she laid off. That was a tough one, as now it's a 2-0 count. 2-0 pitches on the way from Kovic. It's high for ball 3, and just another good job there by Perry Spears to bring that one down. And Ribich, she's not willing to go back to second quite so easily. She's going to make the catcher, Perry Spears, walk from home base. And Addix wanted that one, but again laid off, so it's a 4-pitch walk. Now Maria Biermeyer comes up to the plate. She pinch ran earlier and almost gets a hit there. She's just in front of it, got a piece of it, and fouls it back. Nobody out, runners on first and second for Maria Biermeyer. She gets a piece of that one and fouls it off down the third base line. She's seen the ball pretty well. Just, again, straighten it out, and she'll get this one out for a base hit. So here's the 0-2 pitch to Biermeyer. She gets a piece of that one, and it's going to roll to the shortstop. Throw on to first is in time for out number 1. Runners do advance to second and third. The runner at second, Ribbich, kind of was hesitant to run, but she had to run there. It wasn't a situation where you could wait. She's luckily safe, so runners on in scoring position. And Bella Folkma to the plate. She gets this one out to straightaway center, but it's caught for out number 2, and Ribbich got a little bit too big of a lead there on third. She has to go back to third. Bella Folkma with an absolute shot out to center. But it is caught for out number 2. And Adriana Schroeder comes to the plate. Ribbich, she was rightfully so running, but that one was a nice catch out there by Cher. And this one's popped up to the catcher, and just can't hold on to it. So everyone will have to move back. Ribbich, I think she's kicking herself for not being able to go back to third quicker to maybe try and tag up for another run. But that one, that was just a good catch out there in center field by Cher. This one's going to be inside to Schroeder. Oh, no, it actually hit her. So it hit Schroeder, and she'll be on first. I did not see that, but she did, and she felt it, obviously. Bases loaded, 2 down for Grace Folkma. And she'll get this one out to left field, shallow left, but the left fielder gets to it in time for out number 3. So bases loaded, but the Tigers cannot do anything with the bases loaded, and it will remain an 11-0 game as we move on to the top of the 5th inning, as the Tigers still lead 11-0 over the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers. And the winner of this game moves on to Thursday up in Grand Rapids, and they'll play the winner of Pine City and Aiken up there on Thursday at 3:30. They'll have a full slate of games that day. Looks like they have a couple of fields they'll be playing on, because over on the other side of the bracket, Rock Ridge is going to be playing the winner, Mesabi East and Mora, at 11 a.m. Also at 11 a.m. it's going to be any of 4 teams: Greenway, Crosby Ironton, Esco, or 2 Harbors. And they'll have their semifinals or quarterfinals, I should say, at 1. And at 3:30, Rush City looks to be on their way to playing in one of the games. It looks like we got another. So Anksman is going to move out there to right field for the Tigers as we begin the top of the 5th inning, with the Tigers leading 11-0 over Duluth Marshall. Again, over on 106.5 FM AM 1350, Hinckley Finlayson hosting the Hill City Northland Hornets. Top of the 5th inning will be led off by Zippy Vossen for the Hilltoppers. Peyton Addix with the pitch in there for strike 1. A 1 count now to Vossen. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. She fired that one by Vossen. Vossen, she had a pretty quick swing, but just a tad behind, and she starts that swing just a little bit earlier. She's going to put some good contact on that one. Here's the 0-2, but it's going to be low. Looks like she maybe tried to throw a little bit of an off speed. It came out of her hand a little bit funny. So it's a 1-2 count now for Vossen. Here's the 1-2 delivery from Addix. It's going to be high for ball 2. So it'll run the count even at 2-2 for Vossen after getting 2 early strikes. She works the count even at 2-2. Addix. That one's in there for strike number 3. And Vossen will go down looking as out number 1. And the lefty, Izzy Asbury, will step to the plate now for Duluth Marshall. Addix with the pitch. Swing and a miss there by Asbury for strike 1. Little something off of that one, and it's going to be in there for strike 2. Addix took something off of that one, and Asbury was stuck questioning the strike call, and that one's going to be high and inside for ball 1. So 1-2 the count now to Izzy Asbury. She went down on strikes in her first at-bat. That one's going to be just outside for ball 2. So in the second straight at-bat, after 2 straight strikes, we'll see 2 straight ball calls, and now Asbury with the 2-2 count. Swinging and missing on that one for out number 2. So Ellen Gunt, or Gent maybe? Gunt? Well, Gunt will step to the plate. 2 down, nobody on for the Hilltoppers. Addix with the windup and the pitch. Little something off that one again. Puts it in there, though, for strike 1. 0-1 count to Gunt. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Addix. Swung on and missed. 0-2 count. Addix calls off the first signal and gets this one, and that one's going to be high for ball 1. So now the count at 1-2. Addix shook off the first signal from the catcher and wanted a different one, but now she'll, in this appearance, get the one she wanted, and a swing and a miss there from Gunt, and that will be it here for this Section 7 AA playoff game. The Rush City Tigers get the victory over the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers, 11-0. The Tigers will move on to Thursday up in Grand Rapids, where they'll play either Aiken or Pine City at 3:30, and that will begin. That's where we'll begin the double elimination part of the playoffs, as the Tigers get the victory here, 11-0. That was helped by some very, very good pitching here. Allowed only 2 hits, through 2 pitchers. 2 pitchers allowed 2 hits. They had 12 strikeouts here or 15, yeah, I can count, I can do math. 15 strikeouts here in this one for the Tigers, as they get the victory 11-0 over the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers. And again, looking at the bracket, they move on to Thursday. It'll be Thursday up in Grand Rapids, where they'll play the first game at 3:30. Now they await to find out who wins up in Aiken, between Aiken, the Gobblers, and the Pine City Dragons. Of course, what a awesome opportunity it would be for us if that were to be a Rush City Pine City matchup there. That'll be very cool. Pine City has had a very exciting year, as have a lot of our local teams in the listening area. We've had a lot of exciting seasons, about a lot of exciting teams. So, but that does it in this part of the game, as the Tigers are moving on to the next round up in Grand Rapids. And again, looking at the stat sheet, Grace Folkamo went 3 innings and 9 strikeouts. Addicts went 2 innings and grabbed 6 more strikeouts to make it 15 strikeouts on the day while only allowing 2 hits. And so we look, they only walked one, and that was a hit by pitch to Perry Spears. So 1 walk, 2 hits allowed, and 15 total strikeouts on the day for the Rush City Tigers. They did a pretty good job scoring as well. As you might have seen, 11-0 is the score. Of course, the 10-run rule comes into effect after the 5th inning, so that's why the game is ended at 11-0 after the top of the 5th. And Tigers were able to get some of their bench players in there. Peyton Addicks, of course, coming in and pitching, so she got to swing. But then Maria Biermeyer, she came in and ran there in the first inning. Adriana Schroeder came in. She was hit by a pitch as well. Chloe Fuller, she did get subbed, but she never got to the plate. And Emily Angstman, she was able to get in, and she reached base on balls there. She reached on an infield single. What am I thinking? She reached on a single, so they're back in the 3rd inning, it looks like, and very good outing here for the Rush City Tigers. Aggressive base running, great base running too. They were aware of where the ball was and how much lead they had, and they were being very aggressive running the bases here today, and that helped them. They looked like a good start there for them in the first. They got Mackenzie Rich all the way to 3rd, but they were unable to bring her home, and then the 2nd inning is really when things started to go the Tigers' way, as that broke it really wide open for them as they scored 1, 2, 3 in that 2nd inning. And then everything kind of opened up from there. As in the 3rd, they scored more. 4th, they added on, or did not add on, but 11 was all they needed here in this one as they defeat the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers 11-0 here in round 1 of the Section 7 AA playoffs. Again, the Tigers will now wait to see who they'll play between Aiken and Pine City on Thursday up in Grand Rapids. That game will begin at 3:30. If they win, they'll play almost right away. Same spot, Grand Rapids, at 5:30 in the quarterfinal game. And then they'll play 5 days later on May 30th at Braun Park if they win that one in Cloquet. But if they lose that first game up there at 3:30, then they'd go down to the elimination bracket and play still at 5:30. So no matter what, they're going to be playing 2 games, one at 3:30 and one at 5:30, whether it's in the winner's bracket or the elimination bracket. We have yet to find out. Stay tuned to WCMP and KBEK as we will keep you up to date as to who will play where and when and who they'll be playing as well. And, of course, stay tuned as we'll keep you updated as to what we'll be calling. And also, the morning shows is a great spot to hear the local sports update as we give you scores from around the local listening area of all the teams in our local listening area, whether it's softball, baseball, track and field, golf even. We try to get it all in there. Lacrosse even. I know a couple of our local teams have lacrosse, so try to get it all in there. You can find that on the KBEK, this very station's morning show on 95.5 FM with Rockin' Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. Then over on 100.9 FM with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. That is when you can catch the local sports updates on both of those channels and hear scores from around the local listening area. Also got a sports update that runs at 10:45, and I believe it's 2:45 as well. Of course, we'll have updates on our website as well. We do articles up there as we also post them to our Facebook page. So we've got plenty of spots for you and opportunities for you to catch up on what happened if somebody missed it. You can always check out our website, our Facebook page, or stay tuned to the morning shows. Those are all great options for you here on Q Media. But here on KBEK, the Tigers get the victory over the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers 11-0. They are moving on to the next round up in Grand Rapids on Thursday. They'll play at 3:30, the winner of Aiken and Pine City. So that will wrap our broadcast up here out in Rush City. It was a beautiful day for some softball. Tigers get the victory 11-0. Remember, over on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, the Jaguars of Hinckley Finlayson are hosting the Hill City Northland Hornets in that Section 5A East playoff game. So head on over there. You can catch that one, I'm sure, still going on. Have gotten a text from Joel Lattimore saying it's over, so I believe it's still happening. So head on over and check out that game and see how that one's turning out. But for us here at KBEK, remember to be kind